Okay.
One sec, it's all right.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Lynette Mojica, Admissions Director at Johnson University, Florida. I'm here with Dr. Rory Christensen, Professor at the School of Congregational Ministry, and we want to welcome you to our summer orientation. So I'm going to ask a few questions to our professor. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, it is my pleasure.
All right. Well, for all the students that are wanting to join us this fall, could you give us a little background about yourself?
Yeah. So like she said, my name is Rory Christensen. I'm born and raised in Arkansas. There you go. If you want to get to know about me, there are about four things you can hit on that. First, you got Jesus in there. I was raised in a Christian family. We went to church from the time I was this big on up. There you go with that. Baptized age 7. I went to Ozark Christian College and off I went that way. So Jesus, key part of my life, there it is. Following him, advancing his kingdom, being an ambassador of Christ. There you go with that. Then you got the family piece there. Met my wife in college at Ozark, and life was good there. So married her right outside of that, right after graduation. Have 3 daughters, 17, 15, 12. They are fantastic. Aubrey's actually starting college here this fall, doing some dual enrollment stuff. So really excited about that. And she's a part of this school too. So that's going to be pretty cool there. So you got that. Then you got the growing piece, the education piece. I've got about 4 degrees that are all a part of me just trying to know the Word of God better, be able to communicate it more fully, and be able to connect it with different groups of people. So there you go. Want to lead people to Jesus, lead churches forward. That's my heartbeat on that. And then mission for me, that's it. I'm all about following Jesus, advancing his kingdom. Ambassador of Christ is key part of my identity moving forward with that. So there you go. 4 pieces of who I am.
Great, and we're very blessed to have you here and be a part of the faculty. I know that students are have very, very amazing things that they talk about you. So a little bit, what could you tell these new students that are coming into the School of Congregational Ministry? What are some expectations for your program when they're entering as a new student?
Yeah, expectations I have. For me, whenever I think of the School of Congregational Ministry, and especially what it is we're trying to accomplish, for me, my line on that is that we are developing servant leaders for the church. There it is, servant leaders for the church, men and women who can advance God's kingdom in different locations, in different ways. But fundamentally, that's what we're doing, servant leaders for the church. And so for me, I break it down another 4 different ways on that with the heart, head, hands, habits sort of thing on there, where we expect by the end of your time that your heart will be more fully formed like Jesus, like God created it to be formed. That's a key piece of that. And so you'll have opportunities here at Johnson to engage in different environments that really shape you spiritually. I mean, you'll have the learning piece in the classroom, get to that here in a second, but you also have chapels, different opportunities to serve, grow, be involved. And all of that is all about your heart being developed. There's that expectation. Then there's the head expectation. Got to say, all right, yeah, with the university, there it comes, head. But yeah, you're going to hit the classroom and you're going to learn and grow in ways that you can't even imagine right now. Where I had someone tell me this whenever I was in my doctorate work, but it'll happen for you, where at the end of your time, when someone asks you a question about church or about the Bible, the way you differentiate someone who, maybe they've had a little bit more education than others is they sit back and they think, and then they answer. And in the time since, I think maybe that depends on personality too, because I'm kind of a just throw the answer out kind of guy, but I get it, where there's more there. And for you, that's my hope, because I happen to believe that there are kind of these different scenarios that we're preparing you for, men and women for, where you've got the church that's looking for someone to come in and develop a youth ministry from scratch. You're looking for a church that needs a new lead minister, someone who can set vision and direction, a church that's been stagnant for good solid 15, 20 years. And they're saying, we need to turn a corner. Can someone come in and help us? We've got a church that needs someone to continue a great, thriving children's ministry. We need men and women who are prepared to move into each of those scenarios and feel like they understand what it'll take to get it done. So we say heart, head, and then hands. That's the get it done piece. And during your time here, especially in the School of Congregational Ministry, what you're going to find is a lot of our students are in charge of, are leading a lot of the student leadership positions on campus. We're talking running chapels, running the Thursday night coffee shop. We've got groups like P3 that are focused on preaching and guys coming in. All of these student-led coffee shop, worship, P3, student-led opportunities. And so you're getting opportunities on campus to get better with your hands, the get it done side, but also through internships. By the end of that, our expectation is that you're actually ready to make a difference in the environment God moves you to. And then the last bit is habits. You'll hear people talk about MEPS, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, social. It's just my goal by the end of your time here that mentally you're strong, emotionally, you know who you are and whose you are, right? You've got some emotional fortitude to face different setbacks and difficulties, the highs and lows of life. Physically, you're able to take care of yourself. Spiritually, like I said, your heart is formed. And socially, you know how to act and interact with different groups of people, to deal with and navigate conflict, and move things in the right direction, right? So there you go. Expectations, 4 H's in your home.
Great. So very, very rich, the program. And I think that it's one of the most transformative programs in here at Johnson. And for all the students, as they come into the new year, I'm sure they will imagine they would have different ways that they imagine as they come in here, join us for the first year as a freshman. How would the first semester look like? How would their first day would look like? Or what are the things that they would just receive when they come in that first semester? What would the program would look in regard to the congregational ministry? For example, Bible courses, which is at the core of our curriculum.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got the academic piece, and then you've got the social piece, and then maybe the school piece on top of that. I can take those in turn. Academically, one key fixture of a Johnson education is the Bible piece. We want you to be able to think with a biblical worldview, which, especially if you're preparing for ministry, we can't do without it. For me, maybe one of the key benefits of my undergraduate education was it put me down a path of lifelong learning. For me, the more I learned about the Bible, the more I learned about myself and how to guide people toward what God created them to be. And so you'll take another step on that journey. Your first year, you'll hit Old Testament overview, New Testament overview. So you'll get a broad view of that you'll drill down on then your next 3 years. So you've got that piece. Also, you're going to focus on how you interact out in culture and also up close, like how you love your neighbor out there and in here. I kind of think of it. So we've got a class called Encountering Cultures. And so how do I just engage broadly with people? And then we've got whole interpersonal dynamics, a class that focuses on that, how we navigate up close relationships. And both of those really help you navigate the rest of your time at Johnson and beyond. They're going to lay the groundwork for just a lot of your interactions. And then from there, you're going to get communication, right? Which is something that we need in triplicate if you are a School of Congregational Ministry student and involved in that. Communications key. So you'll see a clear focus on the written and the verbal side of communication. So we got comp 1 and 2 stacking, and speech. Right now I'm holding it down at Florida, so you get in a classroom with me, and I'll give you the Rory hack for communication. No joke, laying the foundation for a lot of biblical communication. The way I do it, if you can learn that, you should be able to step into just about any room. I'll show you what I do and apply the way I structure things for, say, a devotion for our board of directors here at the school. Did that. Then went out to do halftime address for Seawolves soccer game and structure both of them the same way. And you'll do the same thing. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun there. So you've got the communication piece. Also, you've got literature so that you can learn the different key voices throughout history. And then the spiritual side with it. It comes in academics, but we have chapel. Here you go, which for us are key opportunities, not just to engage, but also to lead. Right? That's where we live. We love this stuff. So you got chapel, service learning, where we're involved in church. No one has to make us do that. You may have to keep us away from doing too much of that. That's the way we work with that. So that's academic. Then, of course, socially, which is a key part of that. You'll be in the apartments here, interacting with your peers, interacting with, all kinds of crazy stuff that we do throughout the year. I say this, like, you'll make some of your lifelong friends at college, and it can be a really rich time for you, especially if you go looking for something. They say in life, what you look for is what you find. And so if you come here going, you know what, I want to get people around me who are hardcore about Jesus and doing this. I mean, doing it, writing the next page on ministry in America, reaching the lost. Let's do this. You'll find people who have that as their heartbeat. I've got a group of guys from my floor at Ozark that are still doing it. And that piece is fantastic. So you got the education piece, the social piece, and then for me, the school piece. I'm holding it down here at Florida. And fun part is, I mentioned my wife, April's the bomb. So we like to have you guys out to our house a few times during the semester. You sign up, come on out. We'll throw some dessert down, maybe throw something on a grill and get together and just get to know each other. Let you know you've got someone else in your cloud of witnesses who can begin to cheer for you, encourage you, be a voice as God begins to lead you forward. So it's a little bit of what to expect on that side.
Right, and as the students, they are very excited to come to Johnson this fall. So how can you just give them a little piece of advice on how they can prepare to be successful as they enter college?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like flexibility is a key thing, especially for this fall. But for me, I'm just going to say, in the 4-H's I mentioned before, lean into them even now. 4-H's, they've been around for a long time. You guys have probably heard them. This isn't new information, but they've been around because they're serious. They keep speaking. So I would say, with your heart, check your heart. I love, how the book of Hebrews just says, you know what, throw off everything that's hindering you. The sin that so easily entangles you is Hebrews 12, and begin to run your race with perseverance. Run it. Fix your eyes on Jesus. So watch your heart. Use this time right now to really cultivate those practices, prayer, scripture reading, engaging in worship, intentional conversations, which is the key for me because I'm an extrovert. Man. I need people around me as I follow Jesus, but I can be around them one way and be around them another way. And so for me, I need to not be Rory the junior hire. I need to be Rory, a guy who's intent on growing and following Jesus while also kicking back, having a crazy time, because that's also part of Rory. But you got that going on. So check your heart going in, man. Just keep leaning into Jesus that way. Head for that. I'll just say this, man, be prepared, be focused. Look for opportunities to learn right now. Ask some of the Christian leaders that you're connected to, hey, what are you reading? And pick it up. Pick it up. If it's a boring book, get good at reading boring things. There it is. I say, man, don't cultivate that mindset that says, oh, it's boring. Nah, it's poison. That's poison for any leader because leaders are learners. I'd say this, treat it like you eat a piece of fish. Enjoy the meat, spit out the bones, move on. You can learn 3 things from any book, stack enough 3 things, and you build a life. So begin to cultivate that mindset of a learner. So the heart, the head, then with the hands, man, do not just go to church, be involved. Be involved. Just say, I refuse to just sit. I want to serve. I want to serve. Just be cultivating that, stoke that ministry impulse, that desire you have. Don't just go to youth group. Pastor your youth minister. Like, I want to lead. I want to lead. Give me something. Maybe I'm not a 301 leader yet, but I do some one-on-one stuff. So what are some things I can take off your plate and try to learn fast so you're not a hindrance? I know you got a couple of months on this, but lean into it. Lean into it. Maybe you can lead discussions. Maybe you can bird dog some games, get those together for them, whatever that looks like. And then on the habits bit, just be leaning into cultivating good habits. And I would say maybe use your time in a productive way to have some conversations. Just set them up with some ministry leaders, guys that that are doing it, that have encouraged you toward ministry, and just say, hey, can I have a half hour of your time? Schedule it for them and come ready. Have like 3 or 4 questions. What key insights would you give? Key bit of advice would you have given yourself going into college? What would you have wanted to know? What are some scriptures that have been meaningful to you? What's God teaching you? How are you learning? What are the key things I need to emphasize to really succeed and do things in ministry? So I'd say this, as you move forward, just think 4 H's, and maybe you interpret them for yourself, but lean into those and you'll come and be able to take off and not just kind of land with a thud sort of thing.
Oh, great. Thank you very much for those advice. And I know that students are going to be very appreciative, especially just leaning into, Jesus and as they come into the unknown and uncertainty, this new reality of college. So thank you very much. One last question would be, what is the one thing that you hear students say is the best thing of your program?
I get to thinking about that. And for me, I think from a lot of them, and it would be more indirect quotes, I hear that they have opportunities for growth. And more than that, growth in community. Where, like I said before, when you come to School of Congregational Ministry, we're just kind of leading things on campus. I started noticing that. My guys, my gals, man, we're leading the student government, leading chapels, literally putting them together with the new setup from this last year. They're the group in leadership making this stuff happen, making the preaching groups happen. They're involved leading small groups of their peers during the school year. And so you have plenty of opportunities to grow, to be stretched, to develop so that you can truly make a difference with the life you've been given. And so I think they would say that you've got these key opportunities to grow and to develop so that you can one day make a serious difference and not even go to the one day. I'll be doing that right now. So there you go.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Christensen, for being with us today. And thank you for helping us to, welcome the students as they come in this fall, as they prepare to just Genesis weekend coming in August. So our purpose now is just for them to have a glimpse of your program, and we appreciate you very much to give us that piece of information and encouraging students to just continue and get ready for your program when they come to our school.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Can't wait to meet you guys. Seriously excited about this one.
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to have you guys this fall, and we just want to welcome you. We can't wait for you to be here. So thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you, Dr. Christensen.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's
I
my pleasure.
appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
seriously.